Everyone, good afternoon. If I can have everyone's attention, feel free to come in the room, have a seat. My name's Phil Elijah. I'm here to welcome you to our program, and it's only official that we open the program the correct way by singing the national anthem. And I'm going to call up Caitlin Oliveira to sing both the American and the Portuguese national anthem. Caitlin, thank you.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Heroes de mano, povo nação valente e imortal, levantai hoje de novo o esplendor de Portugal. Entre as brumas da memória, ó Pátria, sente-se a voz dos teus igrejos avós, guiar a vitória, as armas sobre a terra e sobre o mar. As armas pela pátria lutar, contra os canhões marchar, marchar.
Great job. If you can remain standing, I'd like to call up Pastor Pablo Pizarro to give the invocation. Pastor?
Good afternoon, everyone, or good morning still. We're just thankful to be here today. I'm thankful to our leader and our county executive who always takes the time to honor people. Besides being a great leader, he loves parks, he loves the zoo, right? So we're thankful for him, and we're thankful for him taking this time to always honor those who outstand and shine in our county. So would you take this time and let us say a prayer of thanksgiving in this moment, and congratulations to the honorees. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you, we give you glory, and we give you all honor. We give you praise. We thank you for this is the day that the Lord has made, and we will rejoice and be glad in it. Lord, we thank you today because we are honoring stars of this county. We're honoring those that excel, those that go above and beyond. We thank you because you've given them as a gift to our county. We thank you because they are bright, the stars that shine among us, and they make us better. And so today we pray that you will be glorified in all that we do. We pray that you will be exalted, for if you be lifted up, you will draw all men unto you. So today we give you all the glory and all the honor. We pray this in the name of the Father, in the name of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. And everyone says, Amen.
Be seated. Thank you so much, Pablo. Joe D always talks about diversity is our strength in Essex County. That's why we like to celebrate everyone. So when I think about growing up in Newark, I was in the North Ward, which is predominantly Latino now, predominantly Puerto Rican. When I was growing up, it was a big Italian population. But you always point to the East Ward, and you point to the Portuguese community. And I think about families who loved Portugal, but who loved being Americans, who built great restaurants, great businesses, great business owners, and who are an unbelievably important fabric to the cloth that makes this country great. So we honor the Portuguese Americans who are here today, the Portuguese who came over. And as we see from our two honorees, you know, one generation, we have principals, we have people leading the entire state. That's what the American dream is about. People came from overseas, from around the world to America, and their kids and their grandkids are living the American dream. So on behalf of Joe, we're honored to support all these endeavors. And we are in the office of the Board of Chosen Freeholders. This is their glorious, wonderful space. And to make a few remarks, I'd like to call up the two freeholders who are here today, Freeholder Patricia A and Freeholder Levy Jones.
Thank you, Phil. I'm delighted to be here today representing the Essex County Board of Chosen Freeholders. Essex County is probably the most diverse county in the state of New Jersey, and I applaud our County Executive, Joe DiVincenzo, for making sure that he honors all those who contribute to the diversity right here in our home, Essex County. I'd like to applaud the two people who are being honored today, and I'd like to continue by saying that we are very, very fortunate that we have such a large Portuguese population here in Essex County. First of all, when I walk on Ferry Street, I feel as though I'm in Portugal because Ferry Street is absolutely so wonderful and there is so much going on in the East Ward. And I am particularly proud that we have 3 people who are elected officials who are Portuguese. First of all, we have Assemblywoman Ileana Pindor-Marin, who's here with us today, and she is the only Portuguese member of the state legislature, and that is a true accomplishment. We also have Councilman Augusto Amador, who serves on the Newark City Council, and he is the only Portuguese member of that council. And now, last but not least, our famous sheriff, Armando Fontoura, who is also Portuguese. And he disagreed with me before because we were talking about whether he was the only Portuguese sheriff in the state, and he says no, in California there are Portuguese sheriffs. However, he is the best sheriff in this country. And thank you all, and I'm delighted to be here to celebrate the Portuguese Heritage Month and to honor the 2 people. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Levy Jones. I'm a freeholder at large from Essex County. And it's indeed a pleasure to stand before you and to greet you with your fine culture. As we know, this country is built of the fabric of all Americans from different parts of the universe. So with those few words say, those people who have been selected, I'm quite sure you have many other unsung heroes. But today you're honoring 2. And I would say congratulations to them. And I want you to know, as a Portuguese community and Americans, that I support you and I will represent you to my best ability as a freeholder of Essex County. Thank you.
said so many kind words about him already. I'm going to limit my introduction. But he is the greatest sheriff in the country. He is Portuguese, and I love, he reminds me of when my parents told me stories about Italy and coming over. I love hearing Armando tell stories about Portugal and being a kid in his home country. Sheriff Armando Fontoura.
Thank you very much, Phil. I am, in fact, I may be the only Portuguese-born sheriff in America. Thank God that my mother was born in New Bedford, Massachusetts, so she was able to come back here and bring me with her. So we love Portugal, wonderful, wonderful country, rich, rich history. There was a time when Portugal ruled the world, basically. Ocean-going folks, fearless, great history here in the city of Newark, in the state of New Jersey, and throughout this nation of ours. Many contributions. Those of us who were raised in Newark and lived here practically all of our life know of the difficulties that this city faced back in 1967. And the exodus that we faced after that. This city went from close to 400,000 to 300, less than 300,000. It's coming back. We all know that. We are experiencing a great renaissance. But before you can revive, you have to survive. And I always remind people that I feel that our community made as great a contribution as any other for the survival of this city. Perhaps even greater. Because that was the only neighborhood that did not disappear or escape anywhere. It remained the same, remained strong, and continues to get stronger. So I think we owe our community a lot of gratitude, and the two folks that we honor here today fit that tradition well. Hardworking, Patricia, you are a star in our community. You are someone that we look to, someone that we should look to, and have our children look to, and aspire to get to where you get to where you got, to what you achieved. And Manny, when did you graduate? 92, 93? Interesting year, Joe. 93, wasn't it? Yeah. And JIT? And was at Newark College of Engineering. I remember it well. Yeah. It was a Switzerland writing by then. Whatever it was, I couldn't get near it. You know. Newark State College was the best that I could do. Very proud of that too, by the way. But I can tell you that you folks, you inspire all of us. You accomplish an awful lot in your young life. And I have some gifts for you that I don't know what they are, but oh, you have them here. Phil, I know that you're probably going to point out that when we got the Italian heritage, I don't give this much. Today is the Portuguese house. I'm going to go a little extra, obviously. Okay? First, we're going to give you a hat, Patricia. And Phil going to get his heart out, because he doesn't have one of these. A little golf shirt for you that you can wear on the beach if you want to, or you can play golf with it. Yeah. Nice. Wait. Now, with these cards, you know, you can do 2 or 3 miles over the limit, as you know. Okay? And you are very fortunate, because we only give out about 25,000 of these every year. You're one of the few. But in addition to that, you also have a PBA card and the Newark FOP card. Since you are a Newark person, it may help you. And, of course, one of our challenge coins. All right? Ask you to put all that in, all those goodies. And the same thing goes for you, man. I don't know if you play golf or not. I'm going to do a blue, but blue is for the Italian folks. You know? So, write a little more Portuguese. Yeah. All right? Yes. Nice. A hat. Since you live down the shore, you know, you need to put the hat on there. Your hair is not protecting you as much as it used to, by the way. Yeah, you're right. There you are. And here's your cards. Congratulations to both of you.
Patricia Manuel, I just want you to know that you have the shirt, the hat, the badge, the coin. You cannot arrest anyone. Don't fall into a bad trap. It means very little. You can still get in trouble. And if you think now that you can call the sheriff, he will not take your call. He will ignore you. He does not get involved against law enforcement anywhere. So just be careful with that.
I'll take this call.
We're honored to have Assemblyman Tom Giblin with us today, and we'd like him to come up and say a few words. Thank you. Assemblyman Tom Giblin.
Thank you, Phil. I'm glad to see a good turnout for today's Portuguese celebration, sponsored by our county executive and the Board of Chosen Freeholders. At the outset, I want to commend our county executive, Joe DiVincenzo, for his efforts throughout the year and almost during his entire administration in terms of giving an opportunity for the various racial and ethnic groups to be showcased in terms of their culture and their song and their leadership and their good food. And certainly that's exemplified with the Portuguese community. As Sheriff Montour mentioned, it's well said the way you put it, Armando. Definitely it was the Portuguese community when we were at a turning point in the city of Newark, going back, I guess, about 50 years ago, that made the difference in terms of keeping the flag of the city of Newark flying high, and they deserve our eternal gratitude. I've had a long career in the labor movement, and I always say about my members who are kind of a cross-section of America that the Portuguese members I've had in Local 68, never a problem. It's a work, church, home. I used to say that, and I mean that very seriously. They have a tremendous work ethic. They're dedicated, they're conscientious. Family is very much a high priority, and all the things that exemplify the best as far as American values. And witness that today with our honorees. Patricia, they didn't have principles like you when I was younger. But certainly, maybe I'll think about going back to school. But seriously, the fact that you dedicated yourself to education, as we all know, at the end of the day, the most important thing that we can do for our next generation is try to have a well-educated populace. And the work that you're doing, I know sometimes you might get better compensation in another field of endeavor, but you're doing God's work in terms of trying to help kids, especially kids in Newark, get a piece of their American dream and an opportunity to move up the ladder economically and socially and all the positive things that make for good citizens in the future. And then Manny, with the responsibility you've had in recent years as far as the school development order, that's not a job for the faint of heart. You've got a lot of people that second guess you, getting the schools done, getting them done on time, getting them on budget, the pressures that are out there. And all I can say is looking at the different schools that have been built in Essex County and throughout the state, we've been able to have the authority moving along, and there's been no tint of any shadow of a scandal or anything negative as far as the whole operation is concerned. So that's a credit to your leadership, as well as the other folks that are connected with the School Development Authority. I know Commissioner Surf is in the audience, and all they say is, send me more money. That's music to his ears. But seriously, we're all here in a festive mood today, and viva Portugal, and let's keep on celebrating the great and rich heritage of the Portuguese community.
I'm glad you're feeling much better. Our next speaker, former Assemblyman, the conscience of our office, and my kid superhero, Bill Payne.
In any event, I'm pleased to be here to recognize the outstanding citizens of descendants of Portugal. I'm very glad to be here to have a word to say here. Actually, I've had the good fortune of being in Portugal, visiting Portugal some time ago. As a matter of fact, before, of course, every spring we had the Portugal Festival, etc. And I, of course, made sure that we always got there. But the interesting thing about being in Portugal was that I was with some members of Congress, etc., and we toured the country, and as a matter of fact, had the opportunity to meet the president of Portugal. And the interesting thing about it was that he asked where we all were from, and people were from various parts of the country. I was accompanying my brother, and the interesting thing about when he got to me, I said, I'm Bill Payne from Newark, New Jersey. He said, from Newark, do you know where Ferry Street is? This is the president of Portugal. It's so well known wherever. And he had come, I'm sure, to the festivals from time to time. And I was honored at one time to be recognized with an honor from Portugal when I was in the State Assembly. So I have lived in Newark, born and raised in the city of Newark, and in the North Ward, of course. Had I known of the culture of the East Ward of the Portuguese, I probably would have moved from the Italian section down there so I could enjoy the rest of the church. Oh, remember, don't forget that shirt. Maybe I'll get one of those badges one of these days. Oh, real one. Okay. Well, let me make sure that we congratulate you. And of course, one of my deep interests is education. And to be here to honor one of our educators is really something that really lifts my spirit. And I would hope, I'm not going to say what Tom said, that teachers weren't like you when I was in school, and I'm not looking to go back to school. But I'm very happy that we are providing a good education for our young people, because they will be the leaders of tomorrow. And I commend you for the great work that you're doing. And congratulations to you both. Thank you.
So again, when I think about families who came here from Portugal, from other countries, looking for the American dream, I can't imagine just one generation later, they have a daughter who's actually making the laws in the state of New Jersey, from Portugal, her family. She represents us in Trenton, Eliana Pintor-Banin.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. We're supposed to be celebrating. We're Portuguese. We like to eat, we like to drink, we like to have a good time, we like to dance. I want to thank the County Executive and the Freeholder Board for obviously including everyone and trying to celebrate as many cultures and heritages as we can at the county. I have the privilege of knowing these two dynamic people because we've had an opportunity to work together on different levels. Before I talk about them, I want to just share a quick story about our great sheriff. I still remember we celebrated this past Sunday Portugal Day Parade. And I remember a few years ago, I'm not going to say how many, Sheriff, but you were walking down that parade route, and I was still a young girl, and you had just become sheriff not too long before that. And people were so excited in our community because when he was passing by, everyone was saying, that's Armando, he's one of us. And you could see how proud we were to have someone at his level to not only be in law enforcement, but now to be sheriff of one of the greatest counties in the state of New Jersey. So that's just a small story to put into realization how proud we are of some of the people that have come from such humble beginnings and the things that they have accomplished. But moving on to Manny and Patty. Manny, I had the pleasure of meeting you a few years ago when you were working on Oliver Street. And when I got to hear your story of how you went to school down neck, you were a down neck person, how you were able to succeed and now you're working at the SDA, and to have one of the greatest accomplishments to build the school, a brand new Oliver for all of our kids to attend. You know, I congratulate you for working so hard and your beautiful family as well. Patty, I've had the opportunity to meet you many years ago as well. You were a young woman trying to become a vice principal, and it was really exciting to see how people in the community embraced you once you became the vice principal. You started at Ann Street, and how proud the community was that they were able to come to the school and actually speak to an administrator and not to have a translator. And that is something that you know our communities value so much, to be able to speak to one another language. So I congratulate both of you today I hope you enjoy your beautiful day, and let's keep our culture going. So, viva y fuerza Portugal.
Thank you, Ariana. You were really young when the sheriff became sheriff. You remember that far back? Now this is very important now, especially to all the Portuguese here, the most important part of the program. June 27th, I'm going to Italy. And I'm going on TAP Airlines, and I'm connecting to Lisbon. So we've decided to spend a day and a half in Lisbon. So if you have a restaurant, family members have a hotel, or you have a recommendation for me, please, before you leave, come up, because it's only about 30 hours in Lisbon, but I want you to make sure I have the best time. You can call ahead to family members, whatever we need to do. So that's my announcement. But I'm so excited, Sheriff, to go to Lisbon. I'm so excited. Where can I see their World Cup trophy? Oh, never mind. Our next speaker is Speaker Emeritus, Sheila Oliver.
Good afternoon, everyone. I too want to just add my voice to congratulate our two honorees today. And as I was watching the slide presentation, I thought about the history of the world. And I remember learning about Magellan back in grammar school. And when the sheriff said that his mother was born in New Medford, Massachusetts, it made me think 6 degrees of separation in all of our cultures. Now, my name is Oliver. I can switch it up and put an I-E-R-I. My maternal grandmother was born in Newport, Rhode Island. And there is a great deal of history that connects African Americans and Portuguese people. There is the Cape Verdean Islands, and you're well aware of that. And so whenever I choose, I will flip the script, and I will be Portuguese too. Joe's looking at me like. Pat, congratulations. It's poetic license that you're a Portuguese woman and you're the principal of Rafael Hernandez School. I think that is a great cultural connect there. And John, in high school, I had a teacher. His name was Manuel DaSilva. He hailed from the Ironbound. He was one of the earliest families there, and he inculcated in me a joy of reading. So I will never forget you. Congratulations.
This now is really the exciting part of the program, because I get to introduce the singers from Rafael Hernandez, but there's a little backstory, and I'd like to recognize Katie Broadhead, the musical teacher, who's here with them. In Newark, it's a fairly new school. I mean, it's about 15, 20 years old, but fairly new, considering. And they never had an alma mater. They never had a song to represent the school. So this group, the teacher, the principal, got together, and they decided that they would write an alma mater. And I believe, is it true that this is the first time they're going to be performing it in front of a crowd? For the first time ever, let's hear it for the students from Rafael Hernandez and the new alma mater.
Newark, great city, off a brow, we represent from many countries, not just the USA. I All right, let's give it up for the Rafael Hernandez School of Performing Arts. Obrigado. Yo falo poco Portuguese. My name is Aníbal Ramos Jr. and I have the honor of serving as the Essex County Director of the Department of Citizen Services, and for the purposes of this afternoon, I'm particularly honored to be here as a councilman representing the North Ward, the home of the Rafael Hernandez School of Performing Arts. And as Phil mentioned earlier, when we look at the impact that immigrant communities make throughout the United States of America, you can look no further than Newark, New Jersey, and see for yourself the impact that the Portuguese community has made in the development of our city. As a matter of fact, back as 1995, we had over 32,000 Portuguese living right here in the city of Newark, and the earliest recorded Portuguese living in the city was 1903, and Phil, Sheriff Fontour wasn't one of those individuals. But I'm just delighted to be here again as a councilman, and in particular to present an award to someone that I have to say I'm very proud of the fact to call her a partner when it comes to education throughout the North Ward in the city of Newark. She's a graduate of Wilson Avenue School. In 2002, decided to dedicate her career to education, became a teacher at the renowned Ann Street School. 2010 became a vice principal of that school. And in June of 2014, we're very fortunate in the North Ward to have her assigned as the principal of the Rafael Hernandez School of Performing Arts. And Rafael Hernandez is a renewed school, over 800 kids at Rafael Hernandez School. And I can tell you personally, one of the things I'm very proud of Ms. Gois is that she seeks partners when it comes to improving the quality of life for kids in her school. She reaches out to our office regularly. Last year, we were very fortunate to bring the son of Rafael Hernandez to her school, and he had an opportunity to meet all the kids, and this man was literally at tears to see that his father had the name of a school that had made such incredible contributions to our city. And through my good friend and Pastor Pablo Pizarro, we have sponsored so many different events at Rafael Hernandez School that we're just delighted this afternoon to recognize an incredible Newarker, a distinguished Portuguese American, and someone who we're very proud to call one of our stellar educators right here in the great city of Newark. And I'm going to ask you to join me in presenting this plaque to, and I'm going to read it very quickly, Patricia A. Gois, Principal of Rafael Hernandez School of Performing Arts. Ms. Gois has a professional career in education that includes teaching and administration at Newark Elementary and Middle Schools. At her current school, students range from pre-K to 8, the years where children gain fundamental knowledge and develop good study habits. Her experience, communication skills, and commitment to both staff and student development are strong foundations for a school where 95% of the faculty and staff is non-tenured and new to teaching or their positions. In 2009, she received the Governor's Teaching Award and uses her abilities outside of school, she doesn't have enough already on her plate, as a Sunday school teacher, a scout leader, a tutor, a translator, and a mentor to troubled teens with the youth group Quest. Young people are very fortunate to be part of her world, and I'm delighted to join the County Executive this afternoon in presenting the 2017 Portuguese Woman of the Year Award to Ms. Patricia A. Gois.
Everyone. Thank you for making this day so special. Thank you. Obrigada a todos. I will say it in English. I had to say my thank you in Portuguese first. I don't even know what to say. One, I know my parents can't be here, but I know from where they are, they're hoping to see pictures and they're very proud. Try not to cry. About 30 years ago, July 15, 1987, we came to this country, 10 years old, and like everybody else, like a lot of my students, like a lot of you and your parents, and we wanted to start, you know, the American dream. And as exciting as it was also scary, you know, new life, new friends, new everything. Needless to say, to receive this award after all the turbulence, all the accomplishments, to see it this way, it just makes me think of my mom's words and my dad's, and to know that I am so grateful to have had that first education, because if I am here today, if I am the person that I am, it's because of them, because they taught me to embrace all cultures. I am immensely proud to be Portuguese. I adore, but I also love to be with other cultures, because that's just how my parents have raised me. They've been from Angola, all over the world, because my dad used to be in the army. So that's how we are. So to be at Rafael Hernandez, to have been able to continue to do for these beautiful, beautiful minds and children that I learned so much from, I would do it all over again. And I thank you all. Honestly, I'm very humbled, and it is a pleasure, and I thank those that came to support me today, especially Superintendent Cerf and Ms. Larissa Chambo, Roger Leone. If I miss anybody, Pastor Pablo, everyone, I really, really am humbled. I thank you. I accept it, but I do accept it for my parents, first and foremost, for my kids, because they are my kids, and for God. Thank you all. Have a great day.
Before we bring up our musical interlude, I just wanted to welcome and recognize the Superintendent, Christopher Cerf, who's here today. Thank you for being here. Former Assemblyman, first elected in the state Portuguese elected to the state legislature, Alberto Coutinho. Alberto. And for the soccer fans out there, next weekend in Riverbank Park, we're hosting a big tournament, 12 and under, with La Liga, Barcelona, Real Madrid, tons of big-time youth soccer teams are going to be there. Benfica from Portugal as well. I'd like to bring up, and I'd like to recognize our former Portuguese recipient, Ana Santos, ours. John Machado.
Alberto Coutinho, é para mim uma honra, como português, poder sentir deste lado do Atlântico aquilo que vocês dão a Portugal e a nós também. Muito obrigado, parabéns, sinto muito orgulhoso de vós. E agora vou cantar-vos então um tema para manter a tradição, que vamos até comigo. À meia-noite ao luar, vai pela rua sem cantar, o anjo sonhador. À meia-noite ao luar, vai pela rua sem cantar, o anjo sonhador. Recatada a donzela, de mansinho abre a janela, vem ouvir a serenata, como a belo à luz da lua, ouvi-se um fado em plena rua, cantador apaixonado, vem ao luar cantar o fado. Dão as 12 badaladas delícias internadas surge no ar que é de prata. E a recatada donzela de mansinho abre a janela, vem ouvir a serenata. Como a belo à luz da lua, diz um fado em plena rua. Cantador apaixonado, e ao ar cantar o fado.
Good afternoon, everyone. So it is an honor to be part of the annual Portuguese Heritage Celebration. To Principal Gois, who I had the pleasure of calling 3 years ago, early on in September, a parent who oftentimes as legislators, you know, we get complaints. She was struggling with her child and getting some programming. She picked up the phone and swiftly handled the case the way she always has. And since that day, as the North Ward Councilman has noted, she's become part of our extended family in the North Ward, and she truly understands community partnership. And it's so critical to really highlight that, because our schools cannot operate in a vacuum. They have to be integrated into our neighborhoods and into our blocks. And when the church is engaged, when the private sector is engaged, when the public sector is engaged, it's a win-win for everyone, but most importantly, a win-win for all of our students. It was great to hear what a dynamic song, and I heard that you all wrote it with the help of your music teacher, so I want to give you all a great round of applause. That's an extraordinary feat. And then without further ado, I have the pleasure and honor of making the presentation to the Estrelas de Condado de Essex, to our Portuguese Man of the Year. So I think at some point, I'm not sure if you were either sick of me or loved working with me. Anyone who knows, when it comes to school construction, I become a quick member of the SDA family with my own construction hat. I have one in pink, by the way. Thank you very much. So whether it was Elliott Street, South Street, Oliver Street, and Albert can testify to the schools that we broke ground time and time and again, but never really actually saw footing going down. And it was great to see when it happened that there was an individual on site that really became part of the full circle story. A graduate of Oliver Street and someone who helped to build a new facility. You can't think of a better American dream than that. A graduate of Science High School, NJIT, a true Newark champion. He has demonstrated his strength, and just recently, within the last month, was promoted as Vice President of the School Development Authority, so congratulations to that. And I think you might have gotten the news the same day we called to say that we were going to honor you, so it was kismet. So forgive me as I read this in my broken Portuguese, the Santos. E vida e o amore que criamos são a vida e o amore que vivimos. The life and love we create is the life and love we live. Mr. DaSilva has done that in his work, and it is evident that he has done that with his beautiful family. So let's hear it for our 2017 Estrelas de Condado de Essex, Manuel DaSilva, VP Construction Operations, New Jersey Schools Development Authority. For the past 7 years, Manuel DaSilva has dedicated himself to improving the physical facilities in which our children spend their days. Many of the schools in New Jersey are old and in need of repair or replacement to meet current standards. This past year alone, he oversaw the implementation of 22 capital projects, the completion of 4 new schools, and the installation of over 3,000 new pre-K through 8th grade seats. One new school was Oliver Street School in Newark, which was fitting since the old Oliver Street School was the one Manuel attended. Manny's education at NJIT, his professional engineer's license, and his years of construction experience provide a strong foundation for the job he has today. We thank him for the benefits he brings to our children. Thank you and congratulations.
Good morning, or good afternoon, boa tarde para todos. It is an honor and a privilege to be awarded the 2017 Estrelas do Condado de Essex. thank the county executive, Joe D, or Mr. DiVincenzo, as I prefer to call it, as a matter of respect, and the freeholder board, and everybody behind it that has supported and made this function possible. Portuguese people are part of this great community. We are active participants and contributors in Essex County and throughout the state. I was raised in Newark, attended Oliver Street School, Science High School, and graduated from New Jersey Institute of Technology, which are located in Essex County. I am proud of what is possible in this great country, and now in a position through my work at the New Jersey Schools Development Authority under the management of Charles McKenna, able to contribute and have done so through the delivery of several schools, as Senator Reeves has pointed out, here in Newark. As important as the school facility is, the education of the students and the operation of the school facility would not be possible if not for the leadership and the commitment to the students made by the administration and educators. My co-honoree, Patricia Gois, Principal Patricia Gois, is a perfect example of this. She is responsible for the day-to-day operation and learning environment of the facility. I congratulate her and feel very proud to be in her company today. It is easy for me to stand up here and say, and to accept this award, when other people have led or paved the way for me. So Sheriff Fontoura, Ex-Assemblyman Al Coutinho, Eliana Marie Pintor, or Assemblywoman Pintor Marin. And then it's not just about the Portuguese, it's about the fabric that makes us all united, and working together is what makes Essex County great. So the support and the partnership with Senator Ruiz, with County Executive Joe D, Chris Surf, all of us together, united, working together, the Freeholder Board is what makes us, as Portuguese, able to do and accomplish what we did, and together, as the fabric of the multiculturals that live in Essex County is what makes this county great. This would not be possible, and in closing, I'd like to thank you for the award. I am humbled, and for recognizing the Portuguese community. I also want to thank my parents, my in-laws, my family, my brother who's in the back, but especially my wife, Sylvia, and my kids, Sabrina and Ryan. Thank you. Viva Portugal, Viva Essex County. I apologize, but thank you for the honor.
I don't know if he was trying because his family or because of Senator Ruiz, Ileana, and Albert Coutinho been killing him and Charlie McKenna until Oliver Street was done, Elliott Street, and South Street.